Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Dyepress. Today I want to talk to you about Desizer and what I call the heat zone. When you're spraying the Desizer on your shirt, like this one, you want to make sure that you spray the Desizer beyond where the heat press will touch the shirt. Now in this case, my heat press is 16 by 20, and if I spray the Desizer only in this area, because that's all the bigger my image is, when I go to sublimate, there's actually going to be a burn mark right here because the heat press will burn the sizing and it will be exaggerated right along the edge of the Desizer because of the way the Desizer removes the sizing, it pushes it outwards. So you're going to see a burn mark here because there's still sizing right here. So what we need to do is we need to spray the Desizer beyond the heat zone. So in this case, we would have to spray the Desizer all the way bigger than the heat press, of where the heat press is going to hit the shirt. As you can see, this is a big area to cover with Desizer. It's very time consuming and it's pretty wasteful, especially if your image is only this big. So what you can do is you can reduce the heat zone by using a silicone pad underneath your shirt to raise up just the image area, so only the image area touches the heat press. The rest will be protected from the heat. This silicone mat is a Wilton mat, Easy Flex. I bought it from Amazon for $7 and I cut it down so that it's just a little bit bigger than my image area. So then, if you compare here, your heat zone is shrunk down quite a bit, so you only need to spray Desizer the area of the silicone mat, not the entire area of the heat press. Okay, so when you're getting ready to spray Desizer on your shirt, you can take your silicone mat and place it. I know my image is going to be about here, so that helps me to guide, okay, then my silicone mat's going to be here because I want to shrink down my heat zone. So when you put this here, you can use this as a tracing tool. This will tell you where it's going to be. So now I can see the corners, and then I can continue to cover the entire area. Okay, so we have the Desizer on there. It's good and wet. We're going to go ahead and steam out the chemical sizing. And I want to point out that we're not putting anything on our heat press, just the mat that comes with it. The silicone mat, we're going to leave that for later. That is actually going to be only used when we sublimate. When we use the Desizer, we want to make sure there's nothing underneath. I'm just going to hit the whole shirt. I'm going to cover it with my cotton flour sack towel. You can use any other kind of thin cotton material to do the desizing. I'm going to press it at 385. I'm going to go for about 30 seconds. I'm waiting to see a lot of steam coming up here. All right, that's a good amount of steam. Now I'm ready to put the poly tee on the shirt. Okay, now that we've used the Desizer, we've steamed it, we removed the chemical sizing from the image area. Now we're going to put the poly tee on. So now we can go back to using our template that this is about the size of my image for this shirt. So I'm just going to use this as a template so I know about where to spray the poly tee. All right, now we've applied the poly tee spray, and we'll just let that dry. Okay, so I was a little anxious, so I wanted to dry the poly tee quicker, so I laid it underneath the open heat press and just let it sit here. Do not touch the wet poly tee with the heat press, but you can let it rest, open it, and heat up that way. It will dry it faster. But before you actually sublimate, you do want to lift up to make sure it's dry and all the moisture is out of it. So here's how the silicone pad works. It's just a thin silicone pad. We've got it in place. I've got it lined up the way I want here. And then I'm just going to press my image on there. Hey, thanks for watching this video about Desizer and how to reduce your heat zone. Subscribe below so that you can get all the updates and latest tips and tricks as we move along.